Hey y'all, and welcome back to
KNR, where we will be keeping it real.
My name is Roniya Johnson from ItsjustRoniya.
And I'm Kennedy Baker from Kennedy's World.
For this week's segment of KNR, we will be having an informative debate with one another about the intersections and concerns for public safety and whether or not we believe there should be stricter regulations on gun ownership. Kennedy, are you ready?
Yes, let's get straight to it. I am for having stricter regulations on gun ownership due to gun issues playing a major role in the U.S. political debate in recent years. A lot of Americans would believe guns makes their home feel safer, but in reality, it makes their homes a much more dangerous environment. For example, there's a lot of TV shows where kids are getting bullied in school, and it causes them to react in a way which is resorted to violence, usually getting a weapon from their home and used to hurt others.
Today, I will be arguing against having stricter regulations on gun ownership. I'm here today to explain and support why we should not have stricter regulations on gun ownership. Now, you may look and be questioning my reasoning, but by the end of my argument, you'll have a deeper understanding of what exactly I mean.
Some of the examples that prove my statement is that gun violence can rob people of their rights. Guns kill more children each year than auto accidents, and keeps firearms out of those hands of those legally entitled to possess them because of age, criminal backgrounds, or even incompetency. More children die by gunfire in a year than an on-duty police officer and active military members, and guns are also a public health crisis.
Now, for starters, gun control laws simply don't work. According to David Lampo, publication director of the Cato Institute, there's no correlations between waiting periods and murder or robbery rates. Most state-level gun control laws do not reduce firearm death rates, and of 25 states, 9 were associated with high gun death rates. Mexico has some of the strictest gun control laws in the world, and yet in 2012, Mexico has 11,309 gun murders compared to the United States, which had 9,146 gun homicides. The main reason gun control doesn't work is because people's laws will not prevent criminals from obtaining guns or breaking laws. Of 62 mass shootings in the United States between 1982 and 2012, 49 of the shooters used legally obtainable guns. Collectively, 143 guns were possessed by killers, with about 75% obtaining legally. A Secret Service analysis found that of 25 mass shootings in 2019, at least 10, which is exactly 42%, involved illegally possessed guns. I would also like to add that gun control laws are discriminatory and infringed on citizens' rights. Current gun control laws are frequently aimed at inner-city, poor Black communities who are perceived as more dangerous than white gun owners. Why would we have stricter regulations on gun ownerships when we, Black people, are the main targets? Charles Gallner, chair of sociology at LaSalle University, stated that some gun control laws were still founded on racial fears. Quote-unquote, whites walking down Main Street with a AK-47 as defenders of Americans' values. A Black man doing the same thing is public enemy number one. The KKK began as a gun control organization before the Civil War. Blacks were not allowed to own guns, so after the Civil War, there was constant pressure against white racists to keep guns out of the hands of African Americans because they would rise up and revolt.
My opponent Roniya may argue that guns could make our community safer, but all these gun cases she's arguing lead to someone getting injured. In order to make our community safer, we need to protect our children and family in a way that isn't resorted to violence. The gun control laws can help us by reducing criminal rates, reducing school shootings, and even reducing mass shootings.
Now, my opponent, Kennedy, may try to argue that we should have stricter regulations on gun ownership because it'll reduce the death rate due to gun violence, which is debatable when white police officers are killing us. How can we stop that when it has in fact gotten worse in 2023?
In conclusion, guns make environments more dangerous, people can feel on edge, and so much more. Children should not be afraid to go to school, grocery stores, movies, and etc. just because they are afraid something may happen to them during that moment. Children can get their hands on guns faster than people think. We need to prevent this from happening.
In conclusion, advocating against stricter regulations on gun ownership is crucial, as it not only exacerbates the risk of perpetuating stereotypes and targeting profiling, particularly against Black communities, but also aligns with the evidence highlighting the adverse consequences of gun control measures. By recognizing that such regulations tend to correlate with an increase in outbreaks and fatalities, not just in the United States, but also in countries like Mexico. We must prioritize solutions that balance public safety without burdening specific demographics. Embracing a comprehensive approach that addresses root causes and promotes responsible gun ownership stands as a more equitable and effective means to safeguard our communities.